The Boxer Combat Reconnaissance Vehicle, or Boxer CRV for short. It's an 8-wheeled, extremely well-protected armoured fighting vehicle selected by Australia to meet its Land 400 Phase 2 requirement. The replacement for the Army's Australian Light Armoured Vehicle, or ASLAV. Let's examine all the details related to this relatively new platform, including the selection process, role and technical specifications. It was back in February 2015 that then Minister for Defence Kevin Andrews announced first-pass approval for Project Land 400 Phase 2, Mounted Combat Reconnaissance Capability. With this step achieved, the request for tender was released for the multi-billion-dollar project to replace the ASLAV. The Minister had this to say about the major procurement project. The ASLAV is the ADF's current Mounted Combat Reconnaissance Vehicle and has seen extensive operational service, including in East Timor, Iraq and Afghanistan. The fleet will reach the end of its life around 2021. The government is committed to replacing and enhancing the Army's fleet of combat vehicles and other land force capabilities to best protect our soldiers. Again, that was in 2015, and so fast-forwarding a few years, a European Security and Defence, or ESD, article stated that candidates for the program had included the following: BAE Systems with the AMV-35, a variant of the Patria AMV with the E-35 turret of the CV-90-35 IFE. From Elbit was the Sentinel-2, a Singapore Technologies Kinetics Terex 3 vehicle fitted with Elbit MT-30 turret. Rheinmetall offered the Boxer, and Thales teamed up with the Australian subsidiary of General Dynamics Land Systems to offer the LAV 6.0. It was added that other companies had looked into the program but decided not to participate. It actually didn't take too long for Australia to reduce its list of candidates. In July 2016, Australia identified the BAE Systems and the Rheinmetall proposals as offering the best options for its Phase 2 project. Then, in March 2018, the Australian Department of Defence announced that it had selected Rheinmetall with its Boxer platform as the official winner of the competition. The government was quoted as saying, "The decision to select Rheinmetall is the result of a comprehensive 3-year tender and rigorous testing process, which assessed its Boxer CRV as the most capable vehicle for the Australian Defence Force." With the selection, it was stated that the government would, quote, "spend $5.2 billion Australian dollars to acquire the 211 vehicles." Keep in mind that those are 2018 dollar figures. ESD notes that the first 25 Boxer vehicles were to come from Germany, with the rest to be sourced from the Military Vehicle Centre of Excellence established by Rheinmetall near Brisbane in partnership with the Queensland State Government. On this topic, Rheinmetall stated, "The Military Vehicle Centre of Excellence will serve as the focal point for the execution of the program and a base for the establishment of an export-orientated military vehicle industrial complex in Australia." It actually didn't take too long for an export deal to be signed. Indeed, in 2024, Australia signed the production contract for 123 Boxer heavy weapon carrier vehicles, with more than 100 of those vehicles to be exported from Australia for use by the German Army, making it Australia's largest foreign military export to Germany. Based on the Australian Army's Boxer Combat Reconnaissance Vehicle, or CRV, the vehicles going to Germany's land forces have the name Schwere Waffenträger Infanterie, or Heavy Weapon Carrier. The reason Rheinmetall needed its Australian facility to produce vehicles for the German armed forces, as opposed to German facilities tasked with this work, has been due to limited production capacity in Germany. But getting back to our Australian focus, it was in July 2019 that the first of the 25 built-in-Germany Boxers arrived in Brisbane. Known as Block 1 of the project, 12 of these were/are reconnaissance variants, while the other 13 are multi-purpose variants. It wouldn't be until early 2026 that the first 7 locally built Boxers from Rheinmetall Defence Australia's facility at Redbank in Queensland were completed. For these Australian-built vehicles, known as Block 2 of the project, 5 variants are being produced with the following quantities: Reconnaissance, 121 units, Repair, 10, Recovery, 11, Command and Control, 15, and finally Joint Fires and Surveillance, with 29 units built. So what are the details of this platform? In terms of platform basics, overall length is 7.93 meters, while overall width, not including mirrors, is 2.99 meters. Overall height for the Recon variant is 3.3 meters, while ground clearance is listed at 0.5 meters. The engine is a 720 horsepower MTU V8 and uses an Allison automatic transmission. Speed is over 100 kilometers per hour, and range without refueling is said to be up to 1,050 kilometers. The vehicle can handle a 60% gradient and a 30% side slope, and its turning circle or radius is said to be 8 meters. Finally, for the basics, it's said that the maximum gross weight of the Boxer CRV is 38.5 tons. This is a massive 300% increase from the ASLAV platform it replaces, which is said to have a combat weight of approximately 13.2 tons. Indeed, the light weight of the ASLAV helped to make the vehicle fully amphibious, something not achievable with the Boxer. We won't go through all the details of all 5 variants, but since the reconnaissance variant is the main platform, our focus will be on this vehicle's armament. And so this variant's armament is a 30mm automatic cannon paired with a Lance 2 manned turret, a turret which also features a dual-spike LR80GM system. The vehicle also has an active defense system, also known as Active Protection System or APS, and typically accommodates 4 dismounts, although it's said that up to 8 dismounts is possible. Secondary armament consists of an RMG 7.62 machine gun featuring a high rate of fire and 3 barrels for automatic barrel switching. Rheinmetall's promotional material says that targets can be engaged effectively with extreme precision at ranges of up to 3,000 meters, even when the Boxer CRV is on the move. Anti-tank guided missiles feature a maximum range of 4,000 meters. When it comes to protection, a specific armor rating hasn't been published, but it's said that the Boxer CRV offers the highest level of protection in its weight class when it comes to mines and IEDs. It's added that ballistic armor protects against anti-tank weapons, medium-caliber ammunition, artillery shrapnel, IEDs and bomblets, while a spall liner in the vehicle interior serves as the final line of defense. Finally, in terms of features, we can't forget to mention the Boxer's modularity in separating the drive module from the mission module. This allows different types of modules to be swapped in and out in less than 60 minutes, or if one part of the vehicle is damaged or needs maintenance, the other half can be separated, paired with a functioning other half, and continue to be used. So that was all the good stuff related to Australia's Boxer CRV procurement. But what about the issues and problems? Well, tasked with critically examining defence procurements, here's what Australia's National Audit Office had to say in 2020. The report hailed the CRV procurement as, quote, largely effective, and the Department of Defence has, quote, the potential to ultimately achieve value for money outcomes if the identified risks and issues are managed appropriately and the contracted quality and quantity of goods and services are delivered according to the agreed schedule and cost. The report added that Defence's request for tender process was partly effective, as effectiveness was reduced because Defence did not operate within the bounds of the first-pass government approval. It's then said that Defence conducted a largely effective tender evaluation and established largely effective project governance and contracting arrangements. And so, for a government department that's often quite critical and seems to deem many things as partly effective, the fact that the Boxer deal was assessed as largely effective on several fronts is quite a positive result. Unfortunately, there seems to be one piece of potentially bad news for the vehicle, news that came out the year after the audit was released. Indeed, an ABC News article from 2021 discussed how the automatic cannon turrets of the CRV were discovered to be too heavy. Additionally, there were various other quote-unquote headaches reported with the program. Here's the reported list. The CRV fleet is only able to fire German-made ammunition. The vehicles require bespoke European-produced tires. And most important of all, military insiders said that integrating the Lance turret was proving far more complicated than first anticipated because crucial ATGM and anti-missile/anti-drone countermeasures made the weapons system too heavy and unstable. Responding to this news, a Rheinmetall Defence Australia or RDA spokesman said, "There are no known weight or stability concerns regarding the Lance turret and its integration. on the already delivered Block 1 Boxer CRV vehicles. The company added, RDA is not contracted to integrate an active protection system or APS onto the Boxer CRV, but it continues to work with Defence in identifying a sufficiently mature APS solution for future integration. A Defence official who declined to be identified publicly told the ABC, "It is the Lance Block 2 turret that is overweight. It's unable to integrate the missile and APS without making the vehicle too heavy." On the topic of tyres, Rheinmetall did confirm that the Boxer CRV used a, quote, tyre exclusively manufactured at a facility in France, but then said such an arrangement is commonplace in military applications. Similarly, the company confirmed the German ammunition manufactured by Rheinmetall Waffenmunition Schweiz was the only ammunition qualified to be fired by the cannon on the Boxer, and that Rheinmetall had not been asked to qualify ammunition from other manufacturers. The ABC added that earlier in 2021, the head of the Defense Department's Armoured Vehicle Division, Major General David Coughlin, said gun jamming was one of the technical issues on the CRV. Shortly after that ABC report came out, Defense confirmed with other media outlets that it has, quote, not been notified of and is not aware of any weight or stability issues associated with the integration of the Lance turret. The department spokesperson then told Defense Connect the vehicle will operate at the upper end of its gross vehicle mass. This has been understood and accepted since the contract was signed. All in all, when compared to other Australian military procurements and other military procurement programs around the world, the Boxer CRV project has gone relatively well. The need to source tyres and ammunition from Europe isn't ideal, but at least that's something that can hopefully be resolved in order to gain more independence and sovereignty over the platform. The Boxer's weight and size makes air transportation a little more difficult, but, well, it's the compromise made to have increased protection. So, what do you think of the Boxer platform with the Australian Army? Looking at the other competition participants, is there another vehicle you think would have done well? Let us know by leaving a comment.